Hey, hello, you wonderful and free spirit. This is Anton Benning with the Freedom Lifestyle. And let me talk today about discipline. As Jim Rohn taught us, discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. And we have the choice to either choose discipline or to choose regret. This is something that can truly change our lives. Because when we become disciplined, we create the ability to give ourselves a command and follow it. Making a decision to do something or to have something or to become someone without having the discipline to follow it through, we might as well not make the decision. So that is why I wanted to have a little chat with you today about discipline. I remember for myself one day that I lacked the discipline. I set a goal to create a program called Entrepreneur Success Secrets. And I created that and I pushed through on it and I built a funnel and I built a webinar and I went out and I marketed it or I bought advertisements towards it. And over time, basically what happened was that I spent all my money, all my savings on advertisement and it didn't work yet. So basically, I decided to fail because deciding to quit is deciding to fail. If you don't quit and you continue, you pivot, you try another way, eventually through the discipline, through the resolve, you're going to find a way to do it. But this 3 years ago, I decided to quit. I couldn't do it anymore. And now I still have it and I'm creating something else and I'm doing different things. And I know that one day this program that I put together will come together once again and I will create something of it once again. But if I would have, let's say, not given up after 6 months of trying, I would have probably, if I'd still been doing it, had made that successful by now, almost inevitably. That is something that Gary Vaynerchuk also states. He's like, how, when people come to me and they say, how do I become successful? He's like, start publishing. And then they're like, all right, I did it. So now what? And then he's like, continue for 5 years every single day and then get back to me. So basically what the discipline is your ability to give yourself a command and follow through on it, no matter how long it takes. That is, I remember a story that Jim Rohn told us from when he stood in front of a room with a lot of children and he asked the children, what does resolve mean? And he heard many different answers until one little girl somewhere in the back of the room put her hand up and she said, doing something no matter what. And he was like, that might be the best definition of resolve that I've ever heard. And discipline and resolve go hand in hand when I look at it. It is doing something no matter what. It is also similar to commitment. Commitment, I learned from Darren Hardy, is doing something, doing the thing you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in has left you. So we must learn to become more disciplined if we want to develop ourselves and raise to new levels of awareness. Because these new levels of awareness, we require new knowledge, require new skills, require growth. And to grow on a daily basis, we need to be willing and able to change our paradigms constantly. And our paradigms are a mental program that almost exclusively controls our habitual behavior. And almost all our behavior is habitual. So if in the past we haven't truly been that disciplined or had that resolve to follow through and be committed to follow through on the decisions that we make, we need to change our paradigm to become a person that is very disciplined. We need to learn to become very disciplined if we want to create quantum leaps in our lives. Because I've also heard it say, and maybe you've heard it say as well, that we won't be able to change something until we change something that we do daily. And that is immediately in sync with what it takes to change a paradigm. Because what it takes to change a paradigm is one of two things. Either an emotional impact or spaced repetition and elite level coaching. And the emotional impact is something you don't usually choose for, and 9 out of 10 times an emotional impact is something negative, like being fired from a job, or losing a loved one, or a tsunami hitting a coast. So we don't really want to create these kinds of emotional impacts in our lives. So what is left is spaced repetition and elite level coaching. And that spaced repetition is repeating something, repeating saying something, repeating thinking something, repeating doing something. Many times during a day and many days in a row. And when that repetition continues, eventually we start to think differently. So perhaps we create a little incantation or a little affirmation to program our mind, that mental program, that we change it a little through spaced repetition by telling ourselves, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am committed, that I am disciplined, and that I follow through with resolve on my decisions. And we repeat that on maybe we write it out 10 or 20 times a day, or we repeat it looking in the mirror 10 or 25 minutes a day, for example. We record that and we listen to ourselves saying that. Because once eventually that becomes a program in our mind, we become that person. We become that disciplined person. And the more and more it is repeated, the more and more we become that person. So once we've got that program running in our mind, we've reached a level where we commit to our decisions and where we are constantly disciplined and follow through upon that which we've decided with resolve, doing it no matter what until it is achieved. And that is what I want to have a chat with you guys about today. Because I truly believe that when we become more disciplined, we won't give up so fast anymore. And we give ourselves more patience and more time because we know we are disciplined in doing it, and we focus on the actions. We focus on the task and not on the outcome. Because we can focus on the outcome, because the more we focus on the outcome, the faster it will come to us, but we can't do the outcome. We can't act upon the outcome. We've got to act in the way that we would act if we already had it. And often if we are progressing towards a goal or progressing towards an ideal, we are progressing in a way where we need the discipline to repeat something and again and again and again and again. And that is something that I believe that when we learn to do, we're going to be able to reach our goals faster and more ferociously. Thank you very much for listening today. And if you enjoyed this and you think maybe this dude is able to share some more value every now and then, that helps me on my journey to create a more freedom-orientated lifestyle, then please subscribe. And also, if you're interested in creating a life of freedom as fast as possible, but also by doing something that you truly enjoy to do, I suggest you click the link below and you download my ultimate life and business design template. A little step-by-step process to identify who it is that you are, what it is that you truly want, and how to turn that into a profitable business. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you a wonderful day. Live with love and live with passion. Namaste.